Okay, this is the loaded question. What is the meaning of life?
Okay. How long we have for tonight?
You know, my son asked me this very question when my husband passed away 3 years ago. He looked at me and he said, "Mom, what is the meaning of life? I really don't understand. You work all your life, and just when you think you found, Dad just retired, he's just started to find himself, and he's gone in 6 weeks." And it was a loaded question. And I was in a lot of pain at that time. So I could just answer as truthfully as I felt. And I answered him, to me, the meaning of life is that it's a beautiful play. And every movie and every play has great times and sorrowful times. But the meaning of your dad's life, you must never belittle. And you must never make small. Because if you didn't have him alive, you wouldn't be asking me this question now. And what we experienced with your father, the love, the joy, the pains, the suffering, the arguments, made our life so colorful. And would you ever change that for nothing? And he looked at me. He said, "No, Mom." And that to me is the meaning of life. To make every moment mean something. To make it so precious. And each of us has to go one day. And how beautiful we should live is what is important in life. How we go through difficult times and bad times and fun times. All the books we read, all the yoga we read says life is full of suffering. But also it's full of pleasure. I don't know why they missed that one out too. And this is my job to tell you, yes, it's full of pain. I've had a lot of pain in my life. But boy, I wouldn't change any of it. Not one thing. Because it's made my life rich. And when I bought my new home, I was looking for a name, thinking a fancy Sanskrit name, whatever, everywhere, nothing would come. And I went to Hong Kong to see my son, and he looked at me. He said, "Mom, why don't you just call it Casa Bella Vida, a beautiful life?" So he got the answer. A beautiful life, and that's what he felt my life was, a beautiful life. So he then got his question answered, maybe 2.5 years later. Now he had his own 2 children, and they're growing up, and now he knows what it's like to be a father. And, I said, "Would you miss out on this? Sleepless nights, I know. Hard work, I know. Changing nappies, I know. Sickness, I know. Paying all these bills, I know. But would you change any of it? What else do we have? If we don't have that, this is life, isn't it? It is life. And within that life, if we can live in the Spirit, when we can live in the Spirit, then nothing is bad and nothing is wrong. And there's so much forgiveness and there's so much joy and there's so much letting go of all the pain. And when you let go, you do row to sunnier shores. I remember the pain I felt after my husband passed. I cannot describe. It was such a black place. I really cannot describe it. Yes, I carried on speaking. Yes, I carried on working because that was my survival and I knew it. But in my own place, it was black. There was a blackness, almost thinking, yeah, I'm ready to go too, Done what I need to do in life. I've done my best. What else is there, But I knew it was a trial period, and just keep working and just keep knowing that you're going to row to sunnier shores. And I kept on saying, this pain will pass. I know in 3 months, 6 weeks is the worst possible time after you lose someone. 6 weeks is the worst, remember that. Even when people leave you, 6 weeks is always like, the worst time. So I knew that from all the counseling. And Then I knew, okay, then again at 3 months, then again at 6 months, then the first year is always traumatic. So when you know, you expect, you prepare, and you make yourself happier. There's a choice. We all have a choice to sit in our mess and complain or to rise above it, you know? And, you know, because the subject matter was chosen months ago when Shanti and I were in a car, and I asked her today what was my subject. She said, rowing to sunny shores. And I go, oh. So I thought of the little nursery rhyme that we all know, right? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. You know, that just, and with this question, that is exactly row, because we have to row in this life. You know, we have to row, we have to work, we have to find ourselves, we find the journey of who we are and what we are. If we don't find our spirit, our faith, our love, our soul energy while we are living, then life doesn't have any meaning. It's dark, it's a horrible place to be. If you just have to get up in the morning, work as robots, do this and do this and do this, and fill your life with things to do and not things to be and feel and enjoy and love and laugh, then what is the meaning of life? Zero. How many people say work, 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 and they get so bitter and so angry, everybody dies on me, and then when people retire, decide to go on the holiday of their life, they fall flat dead, you know, and they go, so why wait to be happy? For me, it's finding your spirit is finding your joy in the pain. Sri Patanjali tells us in his Science of the Mind book, you know, to a man of discrimination, all things are painful. All things are painful. What does that mean? When you really look at life and you study people and you watch everybody's life around you and you see that everybody suffers some kind of pain, some kind of trauma. Sooner or later, somebody's going to lose someone. Somebody's going to go through horrible times, things that they never expected. How many people have told me in my life, Nalanie, I dreamt that when I got married, live happily ever after, have a perfect family. It's not happened. It's not happened. I thought, all these dreams that we'd grow old together, I didn't realize that we'd separate and argue and broken dreams and broken homes. I never thought that. How many people have told that to me? What can you do? It's the way it is. Find meaning in it. I tell them, don't be angry. Don't cry for what's gone. The English saying, don't cry over spilled milk. You know, all this take as an experience, your book, your colorful chapter, your painful chapter. The next chapter is going to be prettier. You can dream your life into a nicer place. You can, you know, and the only way you can is not taking on the victim role. Not taking on the victim role. The poor me. Because it's a very subtle role. And many people try to cover it up. Oh, no, I'm a good person. I don't mind. I say what I want. No, it's a lot of cover-up I see today. But deep inside, they take the victim role. You know, I really can't go on. I can't make my life better. And all this has happened to me. I'm so sad. And then people go, oh, I'm so sorry you're so sad. Let me, you know, encourage your sadness. And the victim role grows bigger. I'm so unlucky. But you know, I've got positive thinking. And inside, they're not feeling positive. They're feeling like this victim that they don't deserve. And I've seen this over and over again. All the time. And I go, why do you act as if you're a poor beggar? Saying that God doesn't love you and life is full of horrible things. I said, you make yourself a beggar. God loves you. God gives you anything you want. Is that you don't know what you want. What is God? What is spirit? What is life? What is divine? Ask yourself that question. What do you think That God's going to pick on you every day and decide you're going to be the one to suffer and you're going to be the one to suffer. I don't think I would like a God that's so petty. We create our own future. As we have sown, we shall reap. Lord Jesus said there was a way out. He said, the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. The laborers are few. The Bhagavad Gita says, many come into the spiritual path, millions, but only a handful can live it. Why? Why do we have this struggle? Because being human, we forget we are spiritual. And yes, we may do all the prayers and we may do all this stuff and go to temples and churches, but deep inside we haven't really believed. We haven't really had faith that we are really children of this divine energy. All of us. Because if we really believed that we were children of this divine energy, and this Father is a father and mother, both in one. For me, God is male, female. That's why he split himself apart and created duality so that we could experience that. Why do you think male, female, or male energies, female energies, whatever you want to call it, I'm not, any whatever you are, in life it doesn't matter. Why do you think the male, female energies are attracted to each other? Because we will always one. And a female may find it another female, and a male may find it another male. We don't know. It's life. Why are they born with this strong instinct? It comes from somewhere else, from deep within them. Who are we to judge all this? When we go into judgment mode, when we go into condemnation mode, we lose our joy. That's all I know. I have not seen a person in this life who is happy if they're constantly pointing their fingers at this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong. I have not seen them happy. And I have seen people that are happy when they accept all and just focus on how they want to live their life as a child of this great energy which I call love. How can we live to our highest? And for me, living in our highest is in this state of this energy of loving each other, serving each other, helping each other. We're all one. And we were divided just so that we would have something to do. Because if we weren't divided and we weren't here, where would we be? Do you know? You don't know. But this is all we got, my friends. This is the life we've got. Now, the decision is, go to the sunny shores or drown. You're very welcome to do either. The choice is ours. Don't you think we're lucky? We're great parents from so many lifetimes who's given us this choice to create and become godlike, and angels, whatever we want to be, or to become victims of this world. Somebody came to me the other day. Oh, Nalanie, I'm so depressed. Why? Look at the world today. What's happening? Disaster. Nobody cares. You read the news. It's all about greed. Young people are disrespectful. This is going wrong. Nobody cares about each other anymore. And I said, wow, I wouldn't like to live in your world. It's really black. Said, but I'm speaking the truth. And I said, yeah, I happen to live in the same world you do. Yes, you're right that there's a lot of greed, there's a lot of all this going on. But I said, I choose my world and choose my dreams. So in my world, I meet a lot of wonderful young people who want to make the world a better place. I meet a lot of older people who are searching and fighting for their spirit and making up for the mistakes they have made with their children. I say I meet wonderful, wealthy people who decide to give their wealth away to help so many people. And I've met people who have nothing and give so much. I have met saints in gardens and with gardeners, and I have met incredible people who collect garbage. You know, I said, my world is full of beautiful people. We live in the same world, mind you. But his world was so black. So, good person, kind, everything. And yet the world was so black. So you see, it's not. You have to understand. This is the life we have, this one life in this body. Yeah, we have many lives, but we don't know them. And no point to think about them because that's far away. All these people of past life regressions, fine, up to you. You want to do it, do it. But what is the point when you are living this life? Let's get on with this. If we can't make this right, we're going to make our past lives right? I mean, come on, this time is precious. You may be called tomorrow to leave this earth. And that's rowing to sunnier shores, merrily, merrily, thinking, this is life, it's a dream. Oh, today I'm having a really bad day, you know? It's part of the dream. But guess what? This too shall pass. Everything passes. This too shall pass. I was telling you when I had my op, you know, about 7 weeks ago. I remember coming out of it, you know, and feeling, oh my God, I'm stuck to all these machines. You know, one drain here and one drain here and one drain here and one drain there. And I was like this, you know, the pain that I couldn't describe. And, you know, I remember thinking, then, you know, what can we do? This is the body. So I started to meditate and I started to visualize every day one less. Every day. And it was Monday night. And I said, by Friday, hopefully I'll be out of the hospital and all these tubes were gone. I visualized it, I saw it. You know, they told me lots of complications may happen. They were watching me all that. Okay, if they happen, they happen, but I'm visualizing this. That's a Friday I was out. 5 days in your life, gone, over, finished. Why fuss? Why victim role? You know, I was blessed. I got saved. I could have died, and if that happened too, no problem. I lived a great life. Do you know? When you're not attached to any of it. Because anyway, we're all going to leave one day. But knowing that, please understand, how do you want to spend your last days? How do you want to spend today? How do you want to spend this moment? How do you want to spend tonight? How do you want to spend tomorrow? Being angry, being fretful, wasting your day full of desires. I want, frustrated because you want and you can't have. I want, but I can't have. Being angry, you can't have it. You can't have it. What do you have now to make beautiful? There's certain things that we can never have in our life. And I love the saying, God provides our every need, not our every greed. All these desires drive you a little crazy when you got the best thing you have within you. The decision to row to sunnier shores. The decision to take this moment and make magic in it. And that's the gift we've been given. And that is the meaning of life. To make this magical. To change what could be horrible into something beautiful. Maybe you can't do it instantly. But what you can do instantly is accept. Accept. Just change a chip in your head. Just tell yourself very clearly, whenever anything nasty happened in my life, I learned through the practices of yoga. Thank God for a great master. Think very clearly. I can drown or I can fly. Choice is mine. I have the tools. If I'm lazy to use them, I will drown. I can't be lazy. And when you're going through a terrible time, all of you know this, what you want to do is just go under the blanket, cover your head and not get up. And you have to resist that. Yes, do it for 2 days. Maybe that's okay. It's allowed. It's allowed, but not more than that. Not more than that. You know, you have to be the example that while we are living, each one of us has to be an example, because how else are other people going to live? You know, look at yourselves. For many of those who have had families that are very depressing and telling you, can't do this and you can't do this and you can't do this, look at how it's affected your life. Why stay in the same drama? Why stay in this? Oh, my mother and my father, that was their generation. They didn't have what we had. You know, my mother tells me, you're so lucky. I didn't have a choice when I married your dad. I only saw him for half an hour and then we had to marry. Thank God she got a diamond. You know, but you're so lucky in this day and age. You're given so much information. You live in such a great time. You can decide to live a good life. You don't have to take a lot of rubbish. We have the tools, we are taught, we are given, and you know, and we have intelligence to research. You know, if you want to back up anything I say, just go on the computer. Ask yourself clearly, are you living the same old story of victimhood? Are you repeating the old patterns? Are you still blaming somebody for your misery? Because stop right there. Stop right the moment you hear yourself saying, oh, it's because my friend was like that, my job is like that. Stop it right there. And say, I refuse to be a victim of that thought. Yes, maybe they're all there and they're all to blame. But if you don't want to take it, you don't have to. Gurudev always says, you know, if somebody calls you stupid, and you start getting angry, why you call me stupid? What have you just done? You've agreed with them. You are stupid. Right? Haven't you agreed with them?
Yeah.
Somebody calls you stupid, but you know you're not. You just smile. Yeah, okay, great, that's your opinion. No problems. Because you know you are not. But we keep buying into this victim role continuously. So as a result, we become people-pleasing. We start to want to fit in to what looks right, rather than live with what feels good, what feels right. What we can be really truthful with ourselves. This feels good, this feels right. I'm not struggling to make others happy. This feels comfortable. I feel comfortable with this decision. Maybe nobody agrees with me. It feels right. And that's the test. For us humans, always the test will come when you want to follow that dream. Everybody will tell you, you're foolish. And to take yourself that step further to the sunny shores. And of course, whenever you break away from victim mode, you will always have a lot of challenges. Always. The old messages will keep the mind, Maya, the delusion. I don't know if I really can do it. Maybe I shouldn't be the one to do it. Other people are better than me in doing it. Yeah, other people weren't offered the job. You were. Do you see all the fears coming? You were asked to take this position. You were asked to step in front. And what are you doing? Going back into, maybe I can't. Maybe I've got this disease. Don't you know I've got problems with this? Don't you know this need for attention? The need for, oh, you poor little thing. Why do you want to sell your God's strength for weakness? I don't think any of us are poor little things. I think we're dynamic creatures. And we have been given a brain, we've been given a heart, we've been wonderful people to work with, a spiritual identity that we understand and feel, are in touch with. All of us here know there is something that would call it what you will, God, love, joy, whatever. We all know it. We all feel it so dynamically. How lucky are we? We don't have to go into that black place of being a robot each day and living just to earn my living, or to, just to make enough money, or get more and get more and get more till they blow their minds with the more. And the people who get so much are so scared of where it's going to go. So much fear. The more they collect, the more frightened they are. And they go, why on earth are you doing this to yourself? What is it that you are searching for that isn't in here? You are your gift. What else do you have? When the body dies, you are no more. So use this gift, this body, this temple temple, as St. Paul said, temple for the soul. Use it well. Look after it, care for it, and live the best you can. Make your temple as best you can. And we all know, simply, it's such common sense. I don't know why they call it common sense, right? Nobody seems, we all know that when we're not angry, we're in peace. We all know that we're not in jealousy, we are in peace. We all know that we're not in greed mode, we are in peace. And when we're in peace, wow, we can really enjoy the moment. So the challenge with all these other things, jealousy, greed, etc., is like the demon and the angel. There's no Satan. It's right carrying, we both on our shoulders, right here, like in the movies. One tells you one thing, one tells you the other thing. And they're both just showing you that life is full of duality. They're just doing, the demon's doing its job and the angel is doing its job. It's duality. It's normal. Neither are bad. I mean, a demon should be a demon. Don't you agree? And an angel should be an angel. You just have to say, if I follow the demon, what happens next? Is it a downward spiral? If I follow the angel, what happens next? Is it an upward spiral or downward spiral? Normally, as the Gita tells us, what is poison in the beginning is nectar in the end. What is nectar in the beginning is poison in the end. Because that's our battle. The demon says, hey, just do this one more thing and you'll have so much more. And then, just ignore your family and get this and this and this and have some fun and have another affair and another affair. Nobody will know. And you get more pleasure. So you do it, and you have the temporary pleasure, but he doesn't tell you that after that, there's the guilt, and there's the lies, and there's the untruths, and there's all that agitation. So the angel will say, be honest, be loyal. If something's disturbing you, just tell, just say, just peaceful. And the demon will say, why? If you say, they won't agree, they'll put you down. So why do you want to bother going through all that again? And it is a constant battle. And it's all in here. But the desire is, but this will give me pleasure. But if you remember the Bhagavad Gita, of course, when you follow the angel, it immediately means, I really want to have that affair. But if I follow the angel, I can't. So it's hard, right? It's hard to let that desire go. It's so hard because it's easier to, pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. But we all know pleasure doesn't last long. As we know, pain doesn't last long. So you have to analyze the whole situation in your mind and go for your highest, the long-term peace. So poison, give away my desire now. Wow, but long-term peace, you like yourself. You fought your battle and you won. You fought your battle and you won. You respect yourself. You have integrity. You have honor. You can stand up straight. And at the end of your days, you can say, I've had millions of temptations, but you know what? I fought them all. I fought them all. Look at Lord Jesus. Wasn't he tempted? Mm-hmm. Such a great soul. And he was tempted. Demon offered everything. I give you so much, so much. No. Because for what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and suffer the loss of his soul, or his own soul? Nothing. And it takes, even such an incredible, elevated human being had those temptations to fight. And he was the example, as all these great souls are an example to us, that we can fight against our demons. And this is the battle of the Bhagavad Gita. That's what it's all about, the angel and the demon. That you have to go through difficult points in your life, everybody has to. That is the challenge. Otherwise, is a boring life. Good morning. I love you, darling. I love you, darling. Let's go to a... Have you ever seen that movie? I saw it on TV once. I don't know what it was called. Very old movie. When everything in the world was perfect. And what was it called?
Star Trek.
Stepford Wise, we have one.
Yeah,
Stepford Wise, they're all the
Oh,
same,
Stepford
right?
Wise,
So everything was the same.
Yeah, all the
Yes.
Wise are the
Everything was
same.
perfect.
Yeah, everything was so perfect. And there was nothing happening. Every day was the same. And one day, the wife started to think, is this all life? So the whole journey of life is this colorful life, this colorful picture. And all the saints and sages tell us, yes, once you live this life, you know, everything ultimately ends up in pain. Why? Because when you love people, they will die also, right? One day. All of us will die one day. If somebody loves you, they will have to lose you too, right? We all have to go one day. So ultimately, everything is painful. But when you know that, then you expect it. You don't blame God or demons or angels or anybody. You just know that's the way it is. You thank God. Then comes the gratitude. You thank the universe for giving you the ability to decipher this information. You get so grateful. Oh my God, thank you for giving me all this information so that I can live the best life I can, so that I can really take each moment and make it magical. And you just feel so grateful. And that's grace that comes into your life. It's not that you can take all your suffering away. Don't even think that. Just ask. My prayer always has been, just give me the strength and courage to face things. That's all I ask. Whatever comes, just don't make me a victim. Please, I don't want to be one of these people feel sorry for me, because there's nothing to feel sorry for. I am a child of God, as you all are. We all are. You know, I'm just so grateful that I found that out before I wasted my whole life. And you know, because before I started yoga, I came to Gibraltar. I've often told you the story, some of new ones here. For the first 15 years, I was such a horrible lady. All I did was complain to my husband. Complain. Why did you bring me here? I had so many servants and all that. Blah, 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 blah. Poor guy. Little did I realize till I started yoga that I was brought here to understand suffering, to understand poverty, to understand pain, to learn hard work. Why? So I can tell people that that's all a lesson. And you know what? You can dream beyond it. And you can see that you can make your dreams come true. Through all that, you can. And you can make your life the best. It was a choice. So for the first 2 years, I remember my marriage, all I did was complain. And then I thought, I can't even live with myself. So I thought, what do I love? I have to work in a shop all day long. I love music. I love dance. I wanted to be an art therapist. So, okay, I have to work because I have to help my husband with my children's education. Work 10 to 5, 5 to 8. I taught dance. I loved it. It gave me my energy. Took my 2 kids along. You know, we can do that. Why is it impossible? It's the mind that tells you, I can't do this and I can't do that. And we only have so much time. And so limit ourselves. We make like we don't have time to do anything, and yet we spend like 10 hours in bed, and on Saturday, the whole day till 2 o'clock. Oh my God, what a waste of life. No wonder you have no time to live. You're too busy sleeping your life away. Too busy sleeping. No wonder you get up depressed and slow and lethargic. You've lost the best time, according to Ayurveda, is the morning. To do everything. And evening, the energy starts coming down a little bit. You know, I know my worst time is after 8:30. I like to just relax, read a good book. That's why I always have the talks at 8. Many people, at 6. Many people say, why don't you do it 8:30? I know my body. 8:30, I'll do it occasionally if it's to serve. But my body is best before 8:30. So before 8:30, do all I can do in one day. After that, it gets a little lazy. So you get to learn about yourself. That's my body. What is your body like? Ask yourself. Find out. Each one is different. Some people I know, so lucky they can work. My husband was one, could work early morning until 1 o'clock at night. He only needed 4 hours sleep. I used to say how lucky you are. So blessed to be able to do that. I couldn't do that. Now I can. Yes. Because I visualize that one day I'll only need 4 hours sleep. But of course, my body needs more meditation time. In order to do this, I need to meditate, I need to pray, I need to fill my morning with meaningful words. Like this morning, got up at 3:22. I had to laugh because 22 is Gurudev's number, and I looked at the clock. So got up, and it's a bit too early for me to get up. I have a long day. So I put on my talks from Gurudev that's in my iTouch. So nice to sleep with the talking, and it was so pleasant, And then I was listening to all these beautiful words going through my brain. Serve, love, give, and then I was having such nice dreams. The next thing I know was, I told you today was all the 22s, 5:22, and I had to laugh. And that's when I set up to meditate. But you see, all that time is vibrant time with your soul. And many of us don't make any time for our soul. So of course you're going to get very tired. When you're in the world, it's very heavy. The atmosphere is very heavy. You meet people. So many people are full of problems. Everybody's got somebody's dying. Everybody's dying of cancer, Nalanie. So all this, all day long, is going to take your faith away. It's going to take your joy away. So if you don't recharge on the more positive things in your life, you get drained, totally drained. So use that time for you. Really, sometime read a spiritual. I know not everybody can do 2-3 hours. 5 minutes. That's how I started. I really just made a promise to myself that I will only do 5 minutes a day. That's all. I didn't promise myself anything else. And when it grew by itself, it was such a gift, because then what? I didn't stress myself out of meditating. Oh, I have to meditate every day and spend time with my spirit. My God, that sounds like a chore. I don't want to do that. I wanted to love the 5 minutes that I was going to have to myself. It's going to be the best 5 minutes in the world. And then when the 5 minutes grew into 10 automatically, it was natural. And prayer became natural. I didn't beat myself up as so many meditators do, that, oh, I can't stop thinking, I can't stop thinking. I said, well, that's the job of the brain, isn't it? But I could start loving, so if the mind went da-da-da-da-da-da-da, I would just put lots of love in my heart and think of loving thoughts and loving people and great visions. And after a while, those yucky stuff would just leave me alone. And even some days I get up to meditate, and it's really chatting away, and I just watch. I don't fight, because the more you fight, guess what? The more resist. Yeah. And then you don't want to spend time with your spirit, because such hard work. You just added 2 more hours of labor into your life instead of 2 more hours of joy. So start with 5 minutes and dream your dreams. Dream this life. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Dream a beautiful life. Dream yourself to live a beautiful life. Visualize it. Visualize your children getting healthy and strong. Visualize whenever you go into fear mode that you can relax and sit down and say, it's okay to be fearful, this too shall pass. See yourself doing those things. Be aware. Be awake in your life. Don't be asleep. See how you can make a difference in your job that you are doing. How can you add spirit to your job? Simple things. Good, kind deeds can change a person's day. So if you're in an office where everybody is nasty, as I hear some of these offices, really horrible places to be in, be different. Show kindness. So if everybody is just jealous of each other, you go in and say, I feel like making you all a cup of tea. They won't believe you the first time. Do it 3 or 4 times. And then you will change the atmosphere. Come, people, let's do something nice for the world today. What can we do within our office? You can be inventive, innovative, creative. Why does life have to be boring? Why couldn't you make your job interesting? If you were with 2 or 3 people, why couldn't you dream with them and sit with them and chat about the wonderful things that happen and the painful things? Why are we always trying to be better than the other person? Oh, we can't show our weaknesses because I'm better than you. Are you really better than me? Am I really better than you? What a lot of nonsense. What a lot of nonsense. We're all human. We all have the same divine energy. So who's better than whom? Don't get into that mindset. We just correct our actions. That's all we do. Correct our actions to make them beautiful, to make them joyful, to bring as much joy as we can. To me, this is the meaning of life. Do you want to leave this world and somebody to say, oh God, thank God she's gone or he's gone. All he did was complain. Thank God, goodbye. You know? I don't want to go like that, do you? No. You know? So you have to ask yourself what you want from you. How would you? What is your ideal dream? And if your ideal dream is to have a beautiful house, why not? Why not? And if your dream is to have the best partner you could ever have, why not? You can make it so. How many young people today, they make their lives. I pointed at Anna because, every time I meet her husband Dylan, he tells me how much he's in love with her. Sorry, did I embarrass you? And that's so beautiful. That is for me, no pride. I think it's my fault. I didn't put it on today. Outside pocket, sorry. Yeah. Is my time up? Thank you. It must be long distance. Everybody else knows I'm here at this time. Close it, don't worry.
That's okay, that's soft now.
Okay, thank you. So, what was I saying?
About Dylan, wasn't it?
Dylan.
Yes. Do you know how nice to hear it? How nice to hear a man say, and he feels so happy when he says it. I see joy in his face when he says it. He gains when he says that. He's the one that's happy. And I remember when I was in the States many, many years ago, because unfortunately, I'm so sorry, man. In the last generation, you weren't allowed to be loving, you weren't allowed to be emotional, you weren't allowed to cry, you weren't allowed to feel. Thank God we're in a nice modern world. So a big part of you was ripped out. And we women weren't allowed to talk and say what we felt and live a beautiful life, and we're allowed to now. So life has changed a lot.
You can't stop us now.
We need a balance. But I remember that many years ago, going back about 15 years ago, I was in the States, and I heard Dr. Dean Ornish talk about heart disease at the ashram, and he's one of the top heart specialists, and he follows Sri Swami Satchidananda's heart plan. He's the first one to show that you could reverse a heart disease, and he's the first one to introduce yoga to all the hospitals in America. And in America, they'll pay for your yoga classes. It's part of the hospital system, the healing system. And he was our guru's disciple, and I heard him talk at the ashram. And he was saying that in many of the cases, that, he had this man who, he showed us slides and everything, came, the doctor said no hope. In those days, they didn't have so many quadruple bypasses, whatever. And so he did this yoga program. And the whole program included the physical yoga, and then a whole change of lifestyle, eating healthy foods, and most of all, mind. What we do here, mind stuff. And he found out that in 90% of the cases, why do men have more heart attacks than women? In those days, it's changed now. was 90% of the cases, they never express their emotion. And I remember this story really, I never forgot. Maybe I don't know the exact details, but I never forgot this. He said this guy came to him and he said, he couldn't say that he loved and cared for people. And so Dr. Dino Onish told him, did you tell your wife you love her? And he goes, no, she should know. Typical, right? She should know. I love her. But you need to tell her. Why do I need to tell her? That's weakness. No, you need to tell her to heal. You're holding it here. You're holding it here. You need to tell her. So that day, he went home and he told his wife, I really love you. And he couldn't stop sobbing. And she couldn't stop sobbing. He couldn't stop sobbing. It was an interesting one because he had held all that feeling that he felt inside. Because he was told he shouldn't cry, so he never cried. He was told he couldn't be a sissy to say that he loved someone, so he didn't say it. And all the time that heart had become so hard that, of course, he had heart attacks. Anyway, after that, he reversed his disease. He was fine. He lived for many years. And I remember thinking, wow, this is really incredible stuff, Expressing, communicating is so important for our health. And sometimes what we have to communicate is not nice. It's not pleasant. People don't want to hear it. And all I say to yogis is, choose the right time to say it. Say it in a kind and gentle voice, but you say it. Don't expect anything after you say it for somebody to like it, but you said it. You keep it inside, brain strokes, heart attacks, back problems, carrying too much weight on you. And then that's how you learn. Maybe when you say something, the other person will say to you, I've been feeling this for a long time. And you maybe didn't know. Maybe you are opening the door for somebody else's healing. You don't know. And for years, people avoided saying what they truly felt and tried to hide everything, and they became miserable. And that's why I brought her case up. Because you see that and you see the joy. They know how to live in the moment. And they tell their children the same. And if you see her children, so incredible. The expression because of the example. Because you can tell your children, I love you, and learn love, etc. But if they see the parents arguing, they're not going to believe a word you say. They're not stupid. They're totally keyed in. They're going to follow the example, not the words. So they are a loving example. The children turn out to be loving, gentle people. You know how many people have told me about Hannah? That your daughter is such a gentle, kind girl? Yeah. And I don't see your daughter. And yet people say, do you know Anna's daughter, Hannah? She's so gentle, so kind.
Actually, I've been trying before I came. She was preparing a little Buddha for you, but she didn't finish it in time.
Look at that! I probably got her instincts, the telepathic waves. Because I haven't seen her for a long time. But so many people tell me, and then you go, of course, you see the example. The children imitate, not what comes from here, but what comes from here. See parents happy, saying they love each other, they're gonna say, we love each other. They see parents say, I love you, but so much anger inside, they're gonna feel that. They feel the energy, not the words. They feel you, not your words. It's the quality, not the quantity of time you spend with your children. It really is the quality when you're with them or with anybody, not only your children. When you're with your partner, with your friend, when you're with them, you're with them 100%. Nowadays, nobody's with anybody. It's bing, 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 boom, 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 BlackBerry, Isn't it? They don't, there's no moments. There's no moments. The other day somebody wanted to see me on the phone. I said, either you see me, you've asked for the appointment, or you have an appointment with your phone. But don't waste my time, because my time is very precious. For me, I value my time. It's so important to me. So you're going to waste my time with your BlackBerry? Please go home, because I have too many people to see. You know, I had to tell them straight. Oh, Nalanie, I'm sorry. It's okay. But you know, I haven't made an hour for you just for you to be on your phone or your computer. You can do that at home. I think it's inconsiderate. I think it's selfish. And I think it's horrible, rude, bad manners, you know? And there's no this focusing time. You know, when you're with someone, enjoy them. You don't know when it's going to be the last time you're going to see them. Enjoy them. You're with your children, be with your children. If you're not with them, be with the people you are with. Oh, remember that song from the 70s? If you can't be with the one you love, love the one you're with. You can tell my age, right? So, and that's exactly what life is about. Just be where you are fully. And then the hours that you dedicate to your BlackBerry or your telephone or your computer, you dedicate. Okay, I'm spending 2 hours or 3 hours on my computer, then you do those. Then you do it then. And you know what? Your work will be better. When you focus on the work at hand, when you can look people in the eye, when you speak to them, there is a spirit that comes through. There's a communication. There's a joy. There's a living. I'm living this moment because I'm feeling you. I'm not listening to your words. I'm feeling what you're feeling because my total focus is on you at this moment. It's not on what you're saying. So many times people will tell me things and I hear the mouth moving, but I feel that's not what they're feeling. So I tell them, no, please, tell me what you're really thinking. I can't help you unless you're totally truthful. And then the truth comes, and then you can help people, right? Same with friends, same with partners. If you're just talking and you're not saying what you're really feeling, it's like a false communication. It's like, what's the point of talking? You might as well shut up. You're not saying anything that's meaning anything. We talk so much nonsense. And a lot of talking takes a lot of prana, you know that. A lot of energy from you. So, listen more. Listen. And watch more. This makes life very interesting. Watch, observe other people. Observe what makes people happy. Observe, learn from others' mistake. That's wise. Don't make the mistakes that you've seen others make. You see, they've made this mistake, it didn't work. You don't have to. A wise person will learn from somebody else's mistake instead of wasting your life away. That's wisdom. That's wisdom. And you can do that when you learn the science of the mind and you learn that you can stop a negative thought from growing. You can stop it, and that's how you change your life. And that, to me, is the miracle. When you flow with this divine energy, and you'll know when you are doing it. You will know. You will just know, because nobody can tell you how it feels, but when you're flowing with that divine energy, there is something so, it vibrates in you. There's just that feeling of, wow, there's really a God. There really is a God. And this God is using me as it's using every single person. But how sad that we get so locked up in the things that we forget to enjoy this. That's the goal of life, to enjoy this communication with a higher self while we're alive. And then it talks to us. It guides us. It guides us what to say, what to do. But it's all with intuition, your feeling, your heart. It's not so much with the voice and the mind anymore. You move from the realm of matter and material to the realm of subtle and magical, and more from the realm of true love. Because really, you realize ultimately we all come from that same source. So if somebody's really angry with you and really horrible to you, At that point, you realize that that person's mind is sick, that they are not well. You have to deal with that, but you love them at the same time. So you can do both at one time. Because you have that unconditional love and you know just that the mind is contaminated, you either move away from that person, or if you feel you have the strength, you help that person. If that person starts to drag you down, it means you're not strong enough. Don't be a martyr. And this is what most people do, thinking they can save everybody, and they drown themselves. So they're exhausted trying to save the world, and they're drowning. Make yourself strong first by totally understanding that everybody is divine. But some people, the mind is sick. And sometimes a sick mind will not hear you. So let them go. Let them go. Don't force yourself on them. Let them go. And trust that they are also a child of the universe. And they will be looked after, just like you're looked after. And then there's freedom in that. And if you are called to help, you will know too. There will be such a feeling in your soul that if you don't go out and help these people, there'll be a cry. You have to. You can't help yourself. There's like, oh, I have to go, I have to go. I don't want to, but I have to go. It's not even up to you anymore. Have you ever had that feeling? I have to do it. I just know I gotta do this. And it'd be so strong, you can't resist it. And that's when you know you are called. Otherwise, don't force yourself. And that's how we row to the other shore. Slowly, gently, down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. Dream a beautiful life for yourself. Dream it. That permission, that gift has been given to us by the gods. To dream within the pain, the beauty. And all the great artists know this. All the greatest songs that we hear, love songs, they're all love songs, aren't they? That what is the one that I loved recently that I asked somebody to sing for me? What's her name? Adele?
Adele.
That powerful one she sings
Someone
about.
like you, is it?
Yes,
Someone like you.
yeah. You know which song that is? Who can sing it? Who is a voice? Yeah.
Or is it the other one?
No, it's someone like
Someone
you.
like you.
You can
I
sing.
don't have the voice. I can't remember.
Never find someone like you. Huh?
Yes, yeah.
Something like that. She loses her lover that she's always loved. He's married somebody else and he's had children. He's moved on, but she's still in love with him. And the song is so painful, but such a beautiful song. If you haven't heard it, you listen to the words. I just heard it in the car the other day and I go, wow, this song is so powerful. Painful, and I don't take it seriously. I just say, wow, what beauty. It's beautiful. When you hear a beautiful song, you don't have to get depressed and cry. Somebody who was in a car, I can't remember, said, oh, this song is so depressing. Depressing? I mean, it's so beautiful, the emotion that she's expressed is so strong. Her voice is so powerful. No wonder it's reached the charts, you know.
She's wishing, she's been left, but she's wishing the best for
For
the
him.
person.
I
Yeah,
can't.
I only wish the best for you, right? She says. Yeah, that's why I liked it to be
Have the best
best.
for you
Yes.
too.
Yeah. You know how I learn all these songs from my
I could teach
grandchildren.
the song to sing as well.
And nice to have grandchildren. Otherwise, I'd never know these songs. And I hear it on radio. Yes,
Tara put it on.
So life is this beautiful play, and you know, and some of the best works that we've seen in our life have come through pain. And without that pain, we wouldn't have those beautiful full works. Look at Paul Van Gogh. He had to live such a horrible life, you know. And but look who's enjoying his paintings. If he hadn't had that life, he wouldn't paint like he did. You know? So when you see the bigger picture, you realize that souls take on certain bodies to leave certain things in this earth. We may think, what a sad life. But what they left behind was so beautiful. The expression of their sadness. And the other people with all the joy and their beautiful songs and music. And they left all these things on earth for us to enjoy. All the culture, all the Broadway plays and West End plays. You know, we should be enjoying all these beautiful and all the different religions that offer so much in their own way. Buddhism is so interesting. Hinduism, wow. Catholicism, wow. Islam, all of them have something to teach us. So beautiful. You know, you go to any of their temples in any of their countries and it's so beautiful. Why are we fighting over all this? The food that we eat, we love different foods, don't we? Italian, Chinese, you know, whatever. And all these different foods, and we enjoy them. Why can't we enjoy each other like that? Why must we always, of course, everybody has their preference. That's what makes us individuals. And that's okay. But just because I prefer Italian and Chinese food and you prefer Indian food, we're not going to argue about it, are we? One day we'll go for Indian, next day we'll go for Italian, next day we'll go for Chinese, next day we'll go for Japanese. Doesn't really matter. It's the fun, the variety, you know. I've seen couples fight over because she wants to go to that restaurant and I want. Oh my God! Have you made your life so small, so ridiculous, so petty that you've forgotten the colors, the arrays, the rainbows that we can enjoy? Have we made our life? We have dreamt our life into victimhood, into drudgery, into, oh, I have to work so hard to be happy. Wrong again. And I'll finish up with this last story. You really, the secret is you don't have to work so hard to be rich and happy. And I'll tell you a story. Many years ago, I went to India with my father on a pilgrimage, and we went into this ashram, very Hindu, about 3,000 people there, all singing and chanting. And within that, I found a Canadian family. Very odd. Nobody spoke English. There was this family of mother, father, and 2 children. So, of course, they saw me in my Western clothes, and they were so excited, the children. They were, you know, like my kids' age at that time, 12 or 13. They came right away to me, started talking to me, the father, the mother. So I was quite curious. So they said, you know, would you mind? We have a very small kutir. Kutir is like a small house. And would you stay? We have a little room. Would you mind staying with us tonight? I got very interested. I wanted to find out why they were there. So I asked my parents, do you mind? My father goes, why are you staying here with a 5-star hotel? And you know, and I go, Dad, because I'm really interested. So he goes, okay. He knows me, right? My father's also very spiritual. So he's, okay, good girl. You sure you're okay? You'll have no hot water and, you know, Dad, one night is not bad. I can do it, you know? So anyway, I stayed. And I asked them, I said, why are you here? You're the only Canadians here. Everybody else is Hindu. And they said to me, the man said to me, the father, he said, oh, we've come here because I want to give back to this teacher what he's given me. So I said, how did it happen? He said, I was in Canada. I had a big business, which was not doing well. And I would put 14, 16 hours a day. Never see my wife. Never see my children. Come home, angry, frustrated. As a result, my wife was always miserable, complaining, and nagging. It was a nightmare. Then one day, this man, a Hindu friend of mine, and he spoke Hindu, he was a Hindu Canadian, and brought up there and everything, said, you know, there's this guru coming. Why don't you listen to him? So he said, okay. and I will come because I'm desperate. So he went because he was desperate to this talk, and he heard about meditation. He heard the word meditation, and he thought, you mean I could actually have a few minutes of peace in my life and quiet? You mean I actually can have quiet? So he got really curious about this meditation. But he couldn't get up in the morning for meditation. So he told me what he did was, he said, if he gets up 1 minute early every day in 1 month, he would have half an hour. So he started like that. And he was very scientific, so he started to study about meditation, about the philosophy of yoga, do good, be good. He got so involved when he started to research, and he was a computer person, his business was all to do with computers. So he started to research on the mind, on the Vedas, on the yogic thinking, and he got so fascinated that he would spend the whole morning at home. And then he realized that he was not living. He was working, he wasn't living. So he started to have breakfast with his wife and his family. He started to go to work less, and his business increased. Why? He was so excited about finding himself that when he went to work, he got so excited about the work again. All the good energy, all the excitement of being alive came back to him. His wife was happier at home, his children were happy at home, his work was happier, everything became happier. And so after that, his meditation increased. Within a few years, he said he was going to work 4 or 5 hours a day, and he was making millions. And that was only 3 or 4 years later. And he said after that, he realized that the science of the soul was so delicious. Knowing God was so delicious that he wasn't going to go back. He had so much money. So he sold all his businesses, asked his wife and his children permission to move to this ashram in India, build a little hut, give much of the money away, and then to put all these Hindu books into English, to translate all the work of his master. And that's what he was doing there when I arrived at that point. They had just moved there for 6 or 7 months, and they were just bringing the teachings into the modern world, in their part of the world, in Canada. So, when he told me this story, I said, it's true. We stress so much that we create our own failures. And when he stopped stressing and started to love everything he did, he dreamt, he changed his dream. And he respected his family, his home, his children as gifts, rather than taking them all for granted. There was a chip change, and all from studying the science of the mind. So that's what I learned. From all these people, I have learned that we can only fix ourselves. Nobody can do it for us. The people who have the courage to follow their spirit, their inner voice, their love, their kindness, their goodness, and not be embarrassed to do a kind deed because somebody's going to laugh at you, and follow that, find great joy in life. And those who are not brave enough, so sorry, you're left behind. I'm so sorry. Your choice, my choice, all our choice. And that's what I learned from all these people. And that's the magic of the teachings, that if you really live them, you'll go, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So dream a beautiful dream. That is the gift of the gods. We cannot change much our destiny in the sense of what we have done before, we have to reap. But we can change this moment and make it as best we can. And if we fail, just remember one very important lesson. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. And try not to repeat the same mistake. I've made this mistake. Let me not repeat it, because I know where it'll take me again. I don't want to be a fool. I want to be one of those angels And you work towards that. And accept that you're human. And accept that none of us are perfect. And it's okay. If we're meant to be perfect, we wouldn't be here. We'd be gone. We'd have another job, some other planet that is full of perfection. But we are here. And we're just humans with big hearts. And I don't believe, as everybody tells me, that this world is a horrible place. I don't for a minute accept that. For me, this world is a beautiful place, at least my world is, with all the pain and with all the sorrow. It couldn't be more beautiful. I couldn't have asked for a better family, better friends, better sangha, everything. And we all have the same ability to have the same. Just love each other. That's the clue. That's the magic pill. As Lord Jesus said, it's all you have to remember. They will know you as my example. Why? Love each other the way I loved you. And that's the story at the end of the day. Your dream, my dream, follow it.